Alright, hello viewers. This will be a speedrunning guide or tutorial for running the prototype version of Mother, like the English version that wasn't released initially, but you can like get on Wii U now or you can emulate it or whatever. This will be for running that. It only has one category because there's no like major glitches or anything in this, so I'm gonna go over how to do this. Hopefully it'll be fine. Just for like a disclaimer or whatever, I am gonna use save states on this just in case something goes horrible because the RNG in this run can be very unforgiving. That is one thing that you will need to keep in mind if you do decide to run this. It's not like it can be in your favor sometimes. You can obviously play it safer, but a lot of times it will not go well, so it can be a little aggravating. But if you have the endurance or the patience, and if you have a calculator, then you can totally run this. So yeah. Alright, so let's get started here. I'm not entirely sure about if like the text speed, or if the text matters too much if you like just put in half a name or not, but just for the sake of it, I always put in like shortenings, so like whatever you want to name them. Timing would start when you hit OK here, so just keep that in mind. You wait through all this. It takes like 40 seconds or so, but you know, no big deal. But yeah, if you are considering running this, then great. I personally think this is a wonderful game. It's not the best RPG speed game, but it's not the worst either. But hopefully you would enjoy it, especially if you wanted to do it without like glitches and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, to finally get to some of the action, the very first thing that you'll want to do is go to the setup and hit fight message speed 5 there, and then run to the door. The very important thing for running this on this version is that you use the quote-unquote run button a lot, because instead of actually being a dedicated run button, it just speeds up everything on the map. So it'll make all NPCs move faster, which is very useful, as we'll see. Anyway, in the first two fights here, we just use auto, because it's that straightforward. A lot of the fights end early game or with auto on, unless if like something important happens or whatever. But yeah, you can just run into the doll and it will trigger that. Now for advancing the text here, I always mash A and D together. Your stat increases they're RNG, but they're also based on like how fast you advance through the text there. So sometimes you can influence it a little better, but it's not really something that you'll have to consciously think about for this category. So it doesn't really matter that much. It is nice though if you get a side point increase of 1 at least by the time you finish the first. Like, I mean, by the time you level up first time, but yeah. Anyway, check the doll to get the melody. Get 4 orange juices so that you can grind outside without a fear of dying. Now there are some like route differences I will cover. Like if you want to do this to be safer, like I'll go over what I do to be fast, but it's definitely not the safest. But yeah, when you come to this room, you can talk to your mom, but she'll just give you extra text and she'll tell you to check the phone anyway, so you can just skip talking to mom by going straight to the phone. Anyways, here's one of the first cases where you'll notice that by holding B, you can speed up NPCs. So right after your dad hangs up, you hold B, and your mom will just run from the door instead of walking slowly. So it's like little things like that that'll add up over the course of the run that are like nice to pay attention to when you should be holding B or not. check the top present first and get the bat and equip it, so just in case if you get into any rat encounters before you pick it up, they won't be so terribly slow. Because usually to kill the rats, you'll have to hit them like 2 times, but if you don't get the bat before that, you'll have to hit it like 4 times or 5 times, and that's just really annoying. But anyway, so if you're a beginner, the safest thing to do would be to grind in this basement first until you hit level 3. And that'll take like 7 rats, which is a little slow. I mean, sometimes it can actually be faster than going outside immediately, but I do recommend it though, because going outside at level 2 is dangerous. And sometimes you don't even level up that fast when you go outside at level 2 anyway, because you might get even worse encounters for experience than what the rats give, ironically. The best reason to go outside this early is mostly for the money, because the rats only give like $3, or no, they give like $2. The rats only give $2, they give 3 experience though. But yeah, so you, okay, that's not good already. Or is it? Okay, never mind, that was amazing luck for like my first turn. I don't know how I've been getting that so much lately. But anyway, coming outside is dangerous. Because like Wally or the hippies or the dog can mess you up really bad. But yeah. So keeping track of your money is very important for the very beginning of the game. You need $500 or $530 depending on what strat you decide to use. Know that once you level up the first time, like after the doll, you have 50. So all rats are $2. Centipedes are $1. Crows are $4. Snakes are $8. Dogs are $10. Wally is $20, and the hippie is $35. So I do recommend having a calculator on hand to keep track of all that. Anyway, I think I've literally gotten like the best possible set of fights out here. It doesn't look like I'm at risk of dying, and I'm about to hit like level 3 almost right away. And at level 3, it makes a significant difference for being outside, because it's like you're on even grounds with everybody out here now, so you won't like get beat up too brutally or anything. Okay, I might actually die, ironically, and I didn't use any save states like I said I would. But that is my fault for being dumb. I was thinking about using them, but I thought the luck was looking too good, so I'm a little stubborn. But yeah, I'm gonna not do that. If you come out here early like that, oh, apparently I didn't even do that. All right, that is really ironic. Let's ignore everything that just happened. Yeah, nice. So yeah. I don't even know what to say about that. That is really dumb. I accidentally hit back on that confirmation. It would have put me back here anyway, though. But yeah. Save a bit. I'll get to that when we get there. But you'll want to save a little more than I would in this run. Because you'll see the RNG gets really unfair later on. But yeah, sorry about that. Let's just get on through this. It won't take that much more time to get back to where we were. But yeah, I mean, at least that is a very good example of why you would want to grind on the rats. So I'll just leave this as it is. So it's all your preference, of course. It's only like 7 minutes or less into the run if you go outside like that. If you're fine with resetting then, but if you know, if you wanted to try to last a little longer. Sorry, what kind of stats increases did we get? Oh, I didn't even set the battle speed back to 5. Oh my gosh. Alright. Now that that's over with, I'm gonna like start making states. I think I'll do the first one after I get the key. But that sounds reasonable. But yeah, hold B when it's like time for an NPC to move. Anytime the game makes you wait on an NPC. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to talk to you. My fingers always move too fast before like the menus will be ready for them. That'll happen a lot. It might help in EU too, the faster you try to go about through them. Alright, getting rid of the basement key because that has no more use. Healing before we go outside, so that, like, you know, obviously our health and sight points will be up a little more. Even if your sight points only went up by 1, that is still pretty important if you're going outside this early. And now, what did we get? Alright, that was, anytime that happens, that was the action of a save state occurring. But yeah. Anyways, add up their numbers. So $1 from the centipede. There's nothing really special about running around this area. It's always good to hold the run button though, because it's like, it's not that it technically speeds up the fights, like the encounters, but it also pretty much does that. Is one reason why this is faster than the Famicom version is that in that version you can only walk, and when you think about it, for the rate at which you walk in that game, you're covering the same tiles, like, you know, twice as fast, so you can technically get into an encounter like twice as fast, like as weird as that sounds to say. Essentially, so like the grinds are a lot faster in this game. Alright, that's good luck. I mean, I would say that if it was like later on, because the hippie gives the most amount of money and experience. So it's always nice when you get a lot of him, but when you're not level 3, it's a little scary at times. Like, the best thing the hippie can do is like boost your offense with the bullhorn, like, if you don't believe it. And then also waste a lot of turns meditating. Always good. The crows are annoying because they'll just steal your food. They always seem to prioritize stealing the very first food item in your inventory, which in this case would be the orange juices. Not having bread would it has 2 different uses, and the route used to be that you would save the bread here for later, so that you can use it instead of buying bread, which is why if you're gonna save this bread, then you only need to get $500 instead of $530. But if you're going to be buying bread, if you're gonna use this one for food, then you will no, you won't need to do that. But if you come outside early, you'll probably be more than likely wanting to use the bread as food instead to keep yourself alive, which I think is honestly smart, and it's one advantage that you have over the Famicom version, because the bread doesn't exist in the basement in that version. So it's a little more rough coming outside early there, but no worries about that here. The hippie doing that once you hit level 4 is like ridiculous because you can just take him out immediately. Oh, so that's pretty good luck. Alright, good. Level 3, and now instead of taking more damage than the amount you deal, you're gonna be trading about evenly. Now, if that were to happen, you know, you, oops, I don't know why I keep doing that. If you were to be, like, out of resources and you have very low health, it would be faster to just come in to your mom. Because it beats game overing. Like, if you select continue even after game overing, you still have to talk to mom anyway to, get your, side pack. So, why not? Another hippie, and I should already have almost $200, which is much, much more than I would have had if I hit level 3 grinding on the rats, where I would have had like $60 or $62. Even if the grind took a little longer to reach level 3, the money you get for it is usually better. Alright, and that should be life up. Now there's a funny thing with the way that you learn Psy in this game, and it can actually be a little annoying for the run at times, but not usually this category. So the way that it works is whenever you reach a level 4 Psy, like life up, which is level 3, you have like a 1 in 3 chance, I believe, of learning it after any given battle at that level. Which means that you could technically skip over learning it, and instead say, like, I hit level 4 without having learned life up. At level 4 you learn, I forget, I think it's healing, which does something entirely different. I think it removes poison, I believe. You could end up learning healing before life up, in that case. Even though you should have had life up first, which is a little dumb, but it actually sometimes happens out here. But if you came out here at level 3 with full health after grinding on the rats and you didn't get life up, and then you had to wait, if you already used up all of your orange juices or your bread, then it'd be a little annoying. You'd have to go back in, all that. So yeah. Keeping track of your money here is important, but also keeping track of how many experience points you need to level up is also good for the first couple levels in the game. The level 3 is like 30. Level 4 is like 64 or 66. Or 65, one of those three. Level 5 will be 125. And I'll get onto the rest as we move on. Because if you want to go faster than like knowing the earliest possible level you can go through an area, it's important. Alright, oh yeah, I was gonna mention, there's not too much is important about the area. Over here? Okay, fine, I just started this one. But, something to note, if you stay more to the right when you're grinding out here, you'll actually be in a zone where there aren't any encounters possible. Because of, I'll show why, like, right now. Stay away from the right side because when Pippi's mom over there is loaded onto the screen, there are no encounters, because usually in most cases in like an NPC zone, there's no, it's not an encounter zone at all. So like somewhere around here is where that changes, so I just stay over to the left side. I used to run all across both sides, but then I realized that. But yeah, now that you're level 4, things should start going much more smoothly. I forget what that PSI is. Most of the PSI in this game is not that important. It's mostly just like life up, defense up, side shield, stuff like that have their specific uses. There is one PSI that's very important, we'll get later. It is something that you need to be mindful of getting, especially due to the fact that, like I said, you might not learn the Psy right away. Sometimes you need to wait a little bit before traveling into a new area where you need that Psy the most. And we'll see that for the zoo soon. I should have around, oh gosh, the centipedes. Centipedes are so annoying. Like, sometimes I question if it's worth it fighting them at all. But let's go ahead and do it anyway. A lot of times when I get into a fight with something where I question if it's worth it, trying to run from them might waste more time than just killing it if you know it's going to be over soon anyway. But I guess it's up to you to call if that's worth it or not. In the end, though, every little bit helps, so it's not the biggest deal here. Like, later on, though, when it's like, you don't need to fight anything anymore, then it's more of an issue to call it, like, if it's worth it. Yeah, now I should have almost $400. If you grinded on rats only until level 3, then you're going to need to grind a little more. But that technically would be good, I guess, because your experience points will be higher for it. Or at least I think they should be. And by the time you do have enough money, you might end up leveling up sooner in the cemetery than I would. Oh yeah, something I do want to say, like, even though it's not too complicated about the menuing. Things that I like about having like wipe up being right there in the corner is that I can just press down and right simultaneously, and it just drops over immediately. But sometimes if you mess that up, you might hit telepathy, but it just helps to get to it faster when you need to use it. So I don't know, you know, faster menuing is good. It's crazy to think that like 3 whole hippies will be over $100. But they do make that big of a difference. Okay, I have about 500. Just a little more to go. Also a bit more to go on the experience for level 5. Being level 5 and having enough money for the bat and bread is basically your requirements for going to town. I usually try to be near the encounter line right next to the home. Which I'll show you where it is. Like where the zone starts and ends, basically. Just getting near there by the time I hit level 5 so I can just run on over and heal. It's right here. It's from this point down all the way. I think it technically would be faster to heal in battle due to the, actually no. It's hard to call. I would say that healing in battle would be faster due to the, not having the menu. But at the same time, you lose a turn for it, and it's obviously, in a lot of cases, it is not safe to heal in battles. Like, if you really need to heal, it's not safe to wait till you get into a battle to do it, in most cases later on, especially because the enemies get way more dangerous. But, anyway, I don't know why I ran down there, but I just go straight to mom, heal. Oh yeah, you can cancel waiting for the healing jingle to go through if you just smash B. So I do that. I Anyway, I should have enough money now to be able to go to town, but any extra fights I get into, I will take, just because having money for later is also good. So you might be over the amount you need, but it's no big deal. But at this point, you don't need to calculate how much money you need anymore, so you can like put away your calculator or whatever. The encounter zone, it's a little weird in this area. It stops when you reach Pippi's mom, like I said, but then once you go down near to where like the trees start back up again, is where it starts. And then if you don't have enough money and you need to grind here before heading to town, the line is right here. So below, I'm not in it anymore, and above, I would be. So you can stop right there if you do need the money. I go to the store on this path. I believe it is the fastest path to take. Use the cash card. Balance. Okay, I have a little more. I think that's just because of the enemies I got, though. But still, it's all good to have more. As long as you don't like waste too much time grinding on those enemies. But anyways, I go up to the top floor first, just because of like the way you go back down it. So anyways, never buy this. That will definitely ruin all of that grinding you just did. Hit no, and then you'll just get it for free. Then come down here. If you decided to do the route the way I did by using your bread, get that. Then the next one, get the bat. Now, equip the bat. Sell the previous one for some money. And then you can either use the phone here, like right now, or you can wait till you come back from the graveyard, but I personally use it now. I mash A and B through all of this. Now, like I said, or actually I don't know if I specified it yet, but anytime you use the phone, the major purpose for that is that it updates where you'll respawn should you game over. And you actually do game over on purpose at least twice or so in the run to warp around, and you'll see that when it comes into effect. But when he asks you to save, you don't have to confirm it, but should you do so, then I guess that's safer if you actually have to reset your game. But I'm gonna hit no, and it'll still update my respawning point. And it's faster to hit no because it skips all the text that comes from saving. But yeah, after that, drop bread outside of the store right there, and come down to fight these zombies. And sometimes, from fighting the snakes outside the home, they'll drop a magic herb for you, which is just healing. It's equivalent to using a life up, which is really nice. If you get one, then definitely hold on to it. If you do need it, it'll save you from using your Sai. Also, I don't know why. You can use auto on these guys. At this point, though, heading into the cemetery and fighting these guys, you're gonna need to start being mindful of where your HP is at, because basically it should just be a rule that if you're in so-or-so area, your health needs to be above this much so you don't die, just in case. For the cemetery, it's about keeping your health over 20. Like around that point, over is fine. So, yeah. Sometimes you'll have like better luck in how many side points you get by now, or how much HP you get too. But this is pretty average. You may or may not run out in the cemetery. It depends, but yeah. The encounter zone for the cemetery changes around this point, like a little bit above, and you'll start getting the town enemies again. Yeah. Now, you don't have to keep track of how much money or any experience or any of that you're getting from these enemies necessarily, but it is better to fight some enemies here than others, and the most experience giving is a pack of bats of exactly 4. They give like 16. The gang zombie gives the second most. He gives the most for like a single enemy overall though. Like the bats give 4. So getting a single bat is kind of useless. But The Gang Zombie will give 12, but he's pretty dangerous, so on average, it always feels better to get a pack of bats instead, even though they could technically take more turns to go through. Okay, I'm gonna save state here. So yeah, the Gang Zombie is also exactly why you want your health to be over 20, because he has a chance of like hitting you with a smash attack, and if he does that, then it's going to do at least 20 to 25, so you'll like just end up dying immediately. Other enemies that could kill you if your health is getting a little low like this are the regular zombies. So yeah, just make sure that like you keep it up. This whole area, until you get to these trees over here, is encounter free. You don't really need to stop anywhere until you get to the crypt to like grind, because all the enemies are the same all throughout the cemetery. So it's just running to the area as fast as possible. Now you'll hit level 6 at like 208 or 210 experience points. And you're gonna stay in the cemetery until you reach level 7. And then you'll be able to move on to the zoo. So it'll take a little bit, but not too long. Alrighty, yeah. I'm playing this risky, but I definitely don't advise just letting your health get dropped like that. I just do that because I'm like used to it, but I definitely can't die. The annoying thing about fighting the bats at like level 5 or sometimes even 6 is that they have like 20 HP exactly, and for whatever reason, the game really likes to do like about 19 damage only, which means that they live. And if they live, then to like, if you're keeping it on auto, that's not a very smart idea, because you might not target that bat again, and then you'll waste another turn in battle waiting on that bat to do something. So if you hit a bat and it doesn't die, basically just target it again yourself, like whichever bat you hit. Ghosts are really annoying because they deal like an average amount of damage, and they also have 20 HP, and you almost always do 15 damage to them. Sometimes you'll get almost after, like, you know, you almost kill them in one hit, but you don't. And the reason why they're annoying is that they tend to run from battles, in which case, you know, you don't get anything from fighting them. So, I don't know. I would say just run from them, but there's always a chance you might not be able to escape right away. Running in this game should be like a 50-50 chance, but it's really weird sometimes. Some enemies just feel like some enemies almost feel guaranteed to run from every time, and then other ones are like, well, I just can't escape this guy, and then the rest are just all in between. And honestly, I don't know what it is about the stats that determine that, because you'll see later. Flies and Starmen are a very notorious case for me, because I thought it had something to do with their speed or your speed, but Flies and Starmen, like the regular Starmen, have the exact same speed stat, and you can almost always run from a Starman, but you can't run from Flies very often at all. So it's definitely not that there. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But anyway, here I do all the caskets in order, just because it's like, you know, getting guaranteed battles and experience here off these zombies is good. Oops, I don't know why I did that. Oh gosh. Alright, now unlucky for me, I have been getting a bit of the short end of the stick, I guess. So I've had to use a lot more side than I wanted to. Hopefully I'll be able to get through the rest of this without, like, you know, having a need for healing. But anyways, you'll release Pippi there, but don't talk to her, because if you end up talking to her, then either way, like, you can't decline her joining your party. And if she joins you before you reach level 7, then you're going to take much longer getting there, because she's going to be splitting the experience with you. And on top of that, it would be really dangerous, because then she risks dying, and if she dies, then you need to actually spend your money on reviving her. Which is, you know, it's just such a big loss in both resources and time that, you know, let's avoid that. But anyways, you hit level 7 at, like, 327 experience points. So, almost there. Alright, hopefully this goes well. Oh my gosh, please. I usually try to stay near Pippi as my experience almost reaches level 7. And there's a few reasons. Oh, this is very good. Great. We get to see the full effect of getting 4 bats. Can take a bit, but you get that guaranteed max experience here. But anyway. At level 7 is when you learn Defense Up. And Defense Up is very useful, because at the zoo, the elephant takes forever to go down. And he can hurt you pretty badly if you don't use Defense Up. So it'd be nice to get it by the time you get level 7. You'd be really lucky to get it as you hit the mark. Alright, come on. Oh my gosh, it had to be a ghost. Hopefully this will go well. Alright, good. But I was just lucky enough, I guess. Alright, not what I wanted to do. Now you get to see, though, my stats might increase differently, or maybe they won't. I don't know, maybe if I mash exactly the same, I'll get the same stats. No, that was definitely different. I got way worse stats out of that. Hold on, I'm actually curious to see. Wasting a little bit of time here, but yeah, that's just the way the RNG works. It advances like every frame. And there you go, that'd be really lucky to get right there, because now you do have Defense Up. So that would be the best case scenario, to get it right away, so you don't have to waste time waiting for it. But anyway, so when you talk to Pippi here, make sure you say no first, and then yes. So that way that you'll get the Franklin badge, because otherwise you'll have to walk all the way back to her home to get it. Hold B, like I said, to speed up the NPCs and stuff. Then use your crumbs. So that way you don't have to worry about leaving the graveyard. It's being very slow and also risking her dying. Right, talk to the mayor. We're gonna hold B again, because we're gonna be walking back to his table or whatever. And blah blah blah. Keep holding the after this, because she'll be moving. Basically, yeah, just little uses like that all the time are really good. Anyway, for safety, we're gonna go back here and we're gonna buy 2 hamburgers. Sometimes you may not need both of these, sometimes you will. I'm currently thinking about trying to route one less hamburger in so I can take more bread with me. Because bread will be very useful in traveling around. But until I finalize that personally, we'll just stick with what we got. So we'll get one bread now. And we'll go back to the first floor. If you didn't use the phone before going to the cemetery, definitely use it now, because it's your last chance to. And then we'll be going straight up over here to the hotel. Alright, and now we'll be heading on over to the zoo. And we'll make a stop along the way to get the melody. I believe this path right here is the fastest through this area. Go behind this, approach Flora, and select the canary chick and use it. Now, sometimes she moves around very erratically. If you accidentally approach her and hit talk, she might end up walking away from you, and you have to like track her down again, because she'll be moving out of your way a lot. It's a little annoying, but it's always nice when you can just run straight up to her. Now the zoo is the first major run killing point in the game. The RNG at the zoo is very unforgiving at times, especially with two of the enemies in particular are especially nasty. We'll see those. Out here, drop your bread. Hold B as the monkey runs away and just walk into the door. We'll see what we get for encounters. Alright, alrighty, this is actually a good example. The tiger here is almost entirely what makes the zoo awful, for one, because the tiger has very massive damage output. One of its attacks will hit you twice in a row, and it's this one in particular, 20, 40, almost. I ran away, luckily. Yeah, in the event that you fail to run, you are probably going to die right away. So, you know, that's not very fun. And I do apologize if that happens. You could probably try using defense up in battle to prevent yourself from dying, but I don't know if, like, the expense of PSI would be worth it for all that. It really varies. So anyways, in the zoo, I usually like to have my health at 50 or more, but because of my stats currently, I don't want to be wasteful with PSI by using life up again, because it heals about 30 health, and to use it now would, I don't know, it's just the way that it is. It feels like a waste. But fighting one elephant is good. Like I said, it's what you need defense up for, specifically. So just use it and put auto on, and you should be taking around 5 to 6 damage normally from it. If the elephant ends up hitting you with a smash attack, you might take 15 to 20, which can be bad if your health gets low enough, so try to keep your health above like 20. Oops. Hopefully after the fight, your health is at about this range, I guess, and you could use life up again, and it won't feel like such a waste for how much it's costing. Because it is important that you don't run out of side points by the time you finish the zoo, because you will need it. Hyenas are awful. I used to try fighting them, but it takes several turns because you gotta go through them all. And more often than not, as you're trying to kill them, they'll eventually run away from you, which means that you won't get any of the experience off of any of the ones that you tried to kill. so I just try to run away more often than not. So good. Flies, they're so annoying, so either hit auto until they're all dead, or like oops, or like try to run, I guess. I swear it never works for whatever reason. Like it's amazing. Like you can't escape a fly. It gets, I don't know. Well, I guess I did in that case, so that was more lucky than not. But I don't know. 2 alligators, I would encourage fighting, but they can be a little dangerous. Oh gosh. Yeah, they can definitely get pretty dangerous at times. At least fight 2 alligators maybe once. Actually, wait, hold on, let me consult my notes. Actually, I don't have any clear data on if I should run from the alligators or not. But, it's like the risky thing with trying to run is if it doesn't work out and they both hit you for like some critical damage, then you know you might die. So it's like, you know, trying to determine what's the best thing to do is, it's really tricky at times. So I'm just gonna keep fighting them. I would target a single alligator instead of using auto, so that way you get rid of one before the other. Like, so it's guaranteed. I was hoping that it would start approaching, because I want to show what that does. So maybe I might just guard until that happens. Okay, if it says any enemy approaches slowly, what that really means is that it's charging its next attack, so it's going to do more damage than usual. So either try to kill it before that happens, or like wipe up, or guard so that you reduce the damage it does. Because anytime you guard an attack, oh gosh, yeah, unlucky. Anytime you guard an attack, what it will do is it'll cut the damage received in half exactly. So guarding can be pretty useful sometimes in the run. If your health is exactly this low, and you know, like you have like 50 max HP, I would advise using one of the hamburgers. Because it restores a lot of health. It restores like maybe over 50, I don't remember exactly. Around 60 probably. Okay, we got another elephant. Now we don't need to waste time on it because we already had the good experience from the other one. Yay, tigers. So yeah, this zoo can just be a really scary place. But once you make it past it, it usually feels a lot better. I'm gonna wait on this, because the way the RNG works is, like I said, it advances like every frame, so sometimes just waiting a bit changes the outcome. If the tiger ever just bites you, that's way better, because it doesn't attack twice. So yeah. Gorillas. Gorillas are funny because I used to think it was best to run away from them, but I'm questioning if it'd be worth it to fight them. Because I think they have like maybe 40 HP, or I don't know. But, you can kind of take them down quickly, but they do steal your food like that, which is really awful. It's something you want to avoid. It would take like 3 turns to kill it. That, and then sometimes it can just do a lot of damage to you, like crazy. But yeah. I personally run from them. Oh yeah, sometimes the flies will run away too, which is always better. Alright, now I believe that the path that I take through the zoo is like the fastest way to maneuver around. Alright, go into the first room and grab this rope. Everything in here is just a rat or a fly. Or actually, no, I think it's just rats, actually. You can either try to kill them or run. Oh my gosh, please, stairs. Go up to the second floor. Now, if you have two hamburgers, you can just go straight into the Starman Jr. fight. Hopefully it'll go well. But sometimes, if you really want to, you can go into the room to the right and grab the life up cream. At the risk of like getting into more encounters. Okay, yeah, there are flies in here. Very annoying. I usually just don't get the life up cream because I don't want to like waste more time getting to No, come on, please. So I'm just gonna go straight in here. I'm gonna make sure you have max health before you win. So for me, yeah, and about this much 8 side points. I would like to have more, but it can be doable. So anyways, this fight can also kill your run at times, especially if you use the rope. I mean, it's the first thing you do anyway. Alright. So, he hit us with PK Beam right away. That's kind of scary, because the ideal thing to do would be able to rope him and then use Defense Up right away. But now that he's done that, it's hard to call if you should use Life Up or Defense Up right now, because if he breaks out of the rope on like turn 1, then he has a chance of hitting you, in which case he could probably die for that. But we seem lucky right now. Now we're just gonna hit him with auto until he dies. Yeah. If he breaks free and starts getting awful, you have to stop using auto. Try to keep your health over like 33 or 35, which gets a little hard to do, especially because if he hits you once, then you're pretty much already near the range where you don't want to be. Because PK Beam does about 30 damage, so if he hits you like now, then you would just be dead. Yeah. So, you know, you want to avoid that. So, definitely just try to be smarter. If he escapes and hits you once, just like life up or whatever. Oh yeah, and anytime it says an enemy is ready for an attack, that means that they're defending, so they'll take about half the damage you were going to deal to them. Also, I totally didn't pay attention to that. Yeah, I'm not being very smart right now. Okay, good. A little lucky. And, yeah, alright, now we're gonna have to use the hamburger and hope that we don't get hit. Or hope that he dies first, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, not very good rolls. This fight can just be all over the place. Okay, that's good. If he starts out with a PK Beam Gamma, then he's already wasting a lot of side points. If he uses that and like one, if he uses a Gamma and then like one Alpha, then he'll be entirely out of side to use anymore. So you don't have to worry about those anymore. I'm gonna go through this again just because, I mean, it's a little dumb, but I want to show because I didn't state it when we finished the fight. Hold B right here because it'll make it go off the screen faster. There's another case of that. I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out. Now go into this room and grab this bread. Exit back this way, and we'll go to the monkey to get his melody. Or their melody, whatever. Now we'll use the first crumbs, so we don't have to like backtrack to the rest of this video. And we'll head right. Now, this is, we have exactly enough side points. We need just one But if you ended up having the heal on the Starman Jr. and you had exactly 3 psi points left enough for a life up, don't use it, because you'll be out, and then you'll have to run back to town to be able to do this. Unfortunately, health is a bit low right now. I would advise killing the saucer, but I think at this health he could potentially be dangerous, especially because it knows PK Beam, so it could kill you. But yeah, plus it's already doing a good amount of damage too. Yeah, this is a little unlucky, but okay, that's also good, I guess. Yes, things have been a little funny so far. I personally talk to the top guy, and also I hold B here so that he just runs back. So they both do that. I think I talked to the top guy because I think he has like 1 less line of text than the bottom dude, but yeah. Yeah, I might end up dying if I get bad rolls, so gonna abuse these states to not die, I guess. You'll probably see that. You'll probably see me do that a lot later. I'll explain that in a second. But anyways, now that you're here and you have at least 1 psi point, use telepathy. Alright, cool. Now that we're in Magic Camp, go into this room. We're gonna leave the diary, because we don't need that anymore. We're gonna go down 2 houses and talk to this dude. He's gonna take our card for like whatever reason. Then we're gonna talk to him right away, get back the card, and get the big bag, which is gonna save us a lot of psi points. And then we're gonna go up. I personally go this way, I think it's faster. Go up into this home, heal here. It's faster than healing at the home next door because that one will, like, it'll put you to rest and you have to skip the jingle and all that, and there's just a lot more text. But anyway, this is gonna be very important because this is like, I'm not sure if I'll classify this as a glitch, but it's more like an exploit, whatever you want to call it, honestly. It's not exactly game breaking, but it does help a lot in the run. So anyway, they're gonna use bread right here. And you'll see why that's important, and also why I didn't save or anything here in Magic Camp already. Snails, they're not so intimidating. You can usually run from them, they're slow. It can sometimes hurt a bit, but hopefully you won't get too many encounters on your way up here. You talk to this guy once, and then you'll use telepathy on him. And now we'll enter the castle. Hold B so that they run to the side, out of your way. Go into the second door, into the second door, into the third door. Go to the top left present, check it. Now we have Boomerang, equip that. Very useful. Alright, same deal with holding B there on the way back. I'm pretty sure you might get the idea by now, but I'll still point out when that can be done. This dude just ran away. Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't even know if I'm in the right area just because I'm a little confused right now. I might have not ran the right way. This guy is annoying. He'll do that. But you can still run. As long as you don't fight. Also, yeah, I totally went the wrong way. Oops. Alright, I definitely should have made a state sooner. I apologize. I might end up doing that accidentally, but you know what? We're gonna make it through this regardless, so... Nice. Try to be careful. Very good. I need to actually exit this area correctly next time. I don't know why I had the trouble with it, but yeah. But hey, at least I'm using save states at all, so like, you know, that's a minor amount of time spent wasted. Like, oh, I'm sorry guys, I might not be able to finish the run to show you how it's done, or whatever. Okay, now it's I meant to go down and left, like, directly, but I somehow, like, didn't, I guess. I don't know. Or I kind of stopped at some point, or whatever. Anyway, there we go. At this bridge, to get into the underground, we're gonna stand, like, right here to the left of this, and just go straight down. Go right, left, left, right. Now, this area can also be scary. It is a bit of a run killer as well. Alright, this guy's scary. Oh no, am I dead? Close. Alright, he goes down in 2 hits, but he can charge his attack. See, my health is 67. Keep your health above 40 or 50 at all times in here for right now. We do need to die in here on purpose, but we need to get to the sword first. To save psi points, use the big bag. So. The worst encounter here are the eye family, the mom, dad, and the other eyes. Because the mom will just go absolutely crazy. She'll do what the tiger does, and she'll just like deal massive damage in like 1 turn. Now, I do advise killing everything else. Oh gosh, yeah, here we go. Honestly, trying to escape these guys is just a pain, because it's like, you know, if you fail to escape, you might just die. Like, everybody's attacking you first thing, especially, he goes into a rage, so his defense gets boosted instantaneously. Yeah, that's not very good. Okay, so the deal with opening the menu is that, oh, this guy's good. Just guard on him until he leaves. But the deal with opening the menu all the time is that, anytime any menu is open, the RNG just advances rapidly. So it might just write over the RNG and skip an encounter. Yeah, ignore that present for now. This guy's not a problem, you can just beat him. He only does 1 attack, and it only does like 10 damage or whatever. It might get a little tiring to hear or look at. Like, I mean, I don't even look at the screen when he does that, but, yeah, let's wait for it to end. If I could actually hit him, please. Alright, hitting level 9 is not the worst thing. I mean, especially, I guess, if you're just, like, on the way to the, sword, but, the faster you want to get, the less fights you need to encounter here, and, like, throughout the rest of the run, honestly, after you get to the zoo, you just want to encounter less and less. So it would have been ideal to make it here at level 8 and still be able to die. But now that we got that, we're gonna Death Abuse. So, I'm just gonna try to run from him, because this guy, he's not gonna kill me very fast. We're gonna go right into here and fight the fish. I'm gonna hit auto, and he's just gonna mess me up. We're gonna let him do that again, and we're gonna die. Now, it is very important, especially if you didn't save, it is very important that you don't hit B here. Hit continue, hit yes. We're gonna respawn in the store, and this is exactly why we saved here. We're gonna talk to her. We're gonna sell the wooden bat. We're gonna sell the sword. Now we have $900. Now, we're very close to the amount of money we need, and hopefully with all the fights that we had, we have enough money left to grab. Alright, we definitely have enough. So now we're gonna get... Alright, I get a little confused on this because the routes changed a bit now and then back and forth on how much money you pull out exactly, but we need, and also I'm bad at math, so that's my other issue here. I press down whenever I need to get to like 600 or so. So we're gonna need, like 650, I believe. Okay, that's a little too much. We only need 640. But, the 10 extra dollars isn't gonna matter too much. So we're gonna go up here and buy another bread. Yeah, just for reference, it was 640 that you needed to pull out. In case if you, like... The only reason that's an issue is, like, we're gonna die again later, but we're not gonna need that much money anyway. But, oops. Use the crumbs, and this is what the quote-unquote exploit is. It brings us right back to Magicant, so we don't have to go through there again. Okay, so we use the crumbs, we heal, so like our stats are refreshed. We're gonna go down, gonna talk to this guy who will save our game, except, you know, we're not gonna save. We're just doing this to update this respawn point now. So save if you must. If you need it as a new runner. But yeah. Now we're gonna run over here, and with this money, we're gonna buy the best defense item for like one of them. There's 2 defense items, but we can only afford 1. So we're only gonna get the best one that we can carry and equip it. And this will help us throughout the rest of the game, even though the enemies later on will be much tougher than we can manage even with this, but it's still better than nothing, and it's gonna help us beat the fish. Now, on top of this and beating the fish, it's good to fight any enemies like the eyes or whatever that would appear in the underground. The underground is the best. It's the best place in the early game for grinding, for leveling up. So any enemies that you encounter exclusively on the normal level up here, don't really worry about fighting them, just skip them. Like this guy, I mean, you could fight this guy probably, it won't matter that much. At least fighting him is usually quicker than the rest. But yeah, just try to get the other one. If you ever encounter any like snails or the tree enemies, just skip them. I almost always use the big bag over Psy at this point. As long as the bag is in your inventory, just use it. Now these guys are not going to be an issue anymore. When you fight them, I think also they'll give exactly 100 points, I believe, in experience, so that's really good. So prioritize killing the mom eyes first, then the dad eyes, and then the other ones. But yeah, like, I'm definitely taking way less damage than usual, so that's way better. Yep. Now sometimes the Watcher can crit you, or smash you, whatever. But it's always better to take out the dad's eyes first otherwise, because he'll increase his offense, and you don't want to get hit by him when he does that, because it's pretty much just bad. Yep, alright, level 10. Now, actually, at this point, if you're trying to do this as fast as possible, you would want to be exiting the underground area at level 10, which is insanely risky, but yeah, so don't do that unless you are trying to get, like, sub 210 or whatever, like me, or even sub 2 hours, but anyway. Very important item here, grab the Psy Stone on your way around. Alright, now we're gonna go fight the fish to get the Onyx hook, so we can come back to magic at any time. But yeah, here's where the biggest route deviation will be, I'd say, after beating the fish. Well, first off, let's just use defense up, because you'll see that the is obviously it's gonna stack with the defense that we have from the. It's gonna stack with the defense from the. See, 2 damage. It stacks with the defense item we equipped. I don't know why I can't speak right now. But yeah, so the fish is no problem anymore. It's gonna beat him up. And level 11. Now, level 11 is what you will end up trying to be at for most of the run, because level 11 is where you learn Dimensional Warp, or 4th D Slip, 4th Dimension Slip, or whatever. And essentially, that'll let you escape from any battle, regardless of, like, speed or any of that. Like, whatever the chances are. It's 100% guaranteed, except on bosses, but you're never really gonna need to use it on bosses anyway. Now, should you have left this area at level 10, the next fights in the next town would have gotten you to 11 before you go on to the factories. And from that point on, you don't really, like, purposefully fight many enemies unless needed. And from that point on, you just run from everything. So doing that at level 11 is insanely risky, and it's where things will deviate the most for a new runner. I would advise staying here in the underground and grinding until, like, levels 13 or 15 at max. Because even at 15, you're probably going to end up getting experience from some of the few enemies that you will be fighting throughout the rest. And then you'll end up at 16 anyway. I usually end up at, like, about 12. Yeah, the other thing that's risky about being at level 11 exactly is that you see my max PSI is 47, which is very unfortunate, because the best luck would be to be level 11 with 48, because then I would have exactly enough PSI to use the Dimensional Warp 3 times max, because it uses the most PSI out of, like, most of Nintendo's, and the most that you'll be using in the run period. It uses, like, 16. But yeah, it'll be very important to not have that low, or at least, you know, have enough to do it that many times. Because in the end, that is what the Psy Stone is for. It's to replenish your PSI, but it's very risky to lose it. There's a lot of strats to avoid losing it, so I will show that later on. I mean, honestly, to avoid losing it, it's just avoiding using it overall. But yeah, anyways. Forgotten Man, we're gonna talk to him like 5 times. He's a bit of a sad dude. So, yeah. A little serious, honestly. And, like, on the 5th time we talk to him, he's gonna ask a question, and we're just gonna say no. And then we're gonna say yes. or whatever. Yeah. And now we're free to go. There it is. Out here, this is also where I've changed the route a little bit. Also, let me see. Enemies out here you want to fight and run from. It's like, let me see. I think we're gonna fight the wolf, honestly. Because it's like certain enemies you just want to try running from to both like avoid time spent in battles, but also to like avoid leveling up more than needed, I guess. I don't know. It's a little complicated. Because I kept a note of all enemies that were ran from at this level. And it's quite a lot of them. But ideally, if you did grind to 13 or 15, you would probably want to run from them too. But if you are going to fight them, even though I don't think you need to fight these two together. Yeah, once you're level 11, if you're doing this the fast way, you don't need to fight these guys. But if you're going to fight them, I advise taking out the Barbot first. Although, honestly, I don't really think it matters, because you will probably take out the Saucer in one hit anyway. It's just the fact that the Barbot does more damage overall. So, like, say you kill the Saucer, but then the Barbot hits you with a Smash, then that's pretty dangerous. But, anyway. Should you be doing this, though, and you're trying to do it fast, and you're trying to keep your levels low, hitting level 12 will at least give you that, the Sai that you need for using the warp 3 times. But yeah. I always forget that you have so much more life than I remember at this point. Like, I always think that my life is around 60 or 70, but that's where it was, like, 3 levels ago or whatever. But anyway, here's where something that I changed was, because, when I was running the Famicom version, there are no repel rings in that. We used to go and buy repel rings and other stuff in the shop before going down to the factory, but I thought about it, and, like, realistically, I think the time spent shopping and then going to do that would be more wasteful than going straight down. So using the bread now and going straight down to the factory to get the bottle rocket, despite the encounters you'll get. Like, you'll probably encounter like 1,000,000 rats in the factory, but it's not going to be the biggest deal, I'd say. Because the bad thing about using the repel ring, and I'll tell you that, like, I mean, I guess I can tell you now, in the area north of the town are some of the nastiest enemies you can encounter in this run, and they will definitely kill your run should you fight them. I'm talking about the vehicles, like the cars and the trucks. Because what they can do is they can hit Ninten with, like, if you played casually, then you know. They can hit you with a puff of exhaust, which for one, it does a massive amount of damage, and it will kill Lloyd. But it'll completely immobilize Ninten from doing anything at all, unless if you happen to buy asthma spray. Also, we're coming up to the top, and we're going to the right into this room to get this item, which will increase our speed. Which I believe only increases turn order. I mean, it increases your chance for going first in battles, which is very important. But, yeah. Anyway, though, but yeah, having the repel ring, how it works is it takes your total party's offense, and it compares it to the offense of the enemies in the area around you. So basically, enemies that do a ton of damage in your area will not be repelled, but enemies that do way less damage than you do on average will go away. And oh yeah, after you get this bottle rocket here, now you can use your crumbs. So basically what I'm saying is, by using the repel ring, it will not wear out in time, and you will only get deadly enemies in the area north, which I think is way worse than skipping the ring and then going up there, because then you can get enemies that are around, like, they're way weaker and they will not kill you, and your chances for encounters on any enemy are the same regardless, so you might as well get the ones that won't kill you, right? I mean, that seems like the smart decision to me. But anyways, we're gonna talk to this janitor, we're gonna listen to his story, we're gonna say yes to everything until we get to the third one. When he says, "Don't you think she's a terrible wife?" you say no. And yeah. Yes. Now we're gonna hold B, and we're gonna go really fast. So, yeah. It's gonna stop and talk, but we're just gonna keep holding B. Gonna keep holding it. Gonna keep holding it, and yeah. Oops, I forgot you just talk to it, don't check it. Yes. That is... The prototype had, I don't think this... If they actually finished this, the translation would have been a little more sensible. That is just very awkward. But anyway, so yeah, now that we have the bottle rocket in hand, he's gonna notice it. And we're gonna hold B again. Alright, and at this point, we can just discard the bottle rocket. Now we're gonna go into the store. Oh my gosh. And we're gonna buy a ton of bread, and I keep forgetting how much money we need for this because of how many changes I've made. But, we should probably have enough. Yeah, we definitely have way more. There's been cases, though, where I've been doing this so fast that I don't even have enough money to afford any bread. Which is crazy, but we do need a lot of it, to be fair, so... And it also changes between the versions, and I've ran both. But, so anyways, we're gonna get, like, $400, I'd say. Might be safe. I could be wrong. I'll correct it. Hopefully this will actually keep me, straight on how much I need, so I remember. So hopefully my own guide will be good for me. But, anyways, so we have, 8 full slots available in Lloyd's inventory, and then we have like 3 left over here. So that means we're gonna buy 10 breads, and they're 30 each. So gonna count them: 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, I definitely took out way too much money. Yeah, we're gonna move one of the breads from Nintendo's inventory to the, to Lloyd's. Gohan. I withdrew 400 and I have 100 too many dollars. No, actually no, I need to have, you need to have $50 at least. So what I really have is 50 too much, I guess. So yeah, you needed like about half. So you needed 350 basically, is what I'm saying. So my bad. For the sake of it, I mean, if you actually withdraw this much, it's not going to be the biggest deal, especially if you have as much money as I do right now. So you can ignore that. But I get really I don't know. I'm just like this, so I'm just gonna put that back. Anyway, we're gonna go up now. Heading into dangerous territories. I another part of the run where it can just be killed easily. Let's see what we get. We were not lucky. If you actually get this and you are lucky enough, you'll be able to run, but you will probably just die. Yeah, right now, see, so... Yeah, and Lloyd's just gonna die. Or he should have, but let's see if he runs. Alright, that is extremely lucky right there. That is... yeah. Alright. Lloyd saved our lives, and he can actually be good for that sometimes, but it's too bad that we're gonna try really hard to not kill anything with Lloyd in the party, because we do not want him to level up. Especially on this version of the game, because he, when you level up, you know, it takes way longer to clear through the text of leveling up than it does on the Japanese version, so Lloyd leveling up just wastes time, always. And especially wastes massive amounts of time later on, especially because his health being low is good later on, and you'll see why. But, so yeah. Just want to keep trying to run from things while he's here. You don't want him to die that soon, though. What we really want, before Lloyd dies at all, and hopefully he won't, like, come on. Like, I'm probably gonna kill one of these, and then try to run. Alright. That was probably the smarter choice to do anyway. Yeah, okay. So, at about this point, go into Lloyd's inventory, use a bread, and then keep on to the left. If Lloyd dies at this point, don't worry, it's no big deal. And if you played this casually, then you'd know, like, you need Lloyd for this part, so you're like, but, like, why is it okay for him to die? That's totally not okay. But don't worry. Everything is set up to avoid this. Like, avoid that being an issue. So, just keep on going. Eagles can be very troublesome at times, because they definitely move way faster than you. And they can even beat up Ninsen pretty badly. Running from them is still doable, but like they can get rough. Yeah. Anyway, gonna give the dog the pass. Does a cute little dance, and then it's just one of the dogs from the beginning area. So it's easy. Take him down. It's okay to kill this guy if Lloyd's still alive, because he's not gonna make Lloyd level up. But at this point, Lloyd, like, by the time you're in here and you actually need to kill something, Lloyd will probably have died. And in here, we're basically gonna run from everything. Especially because most of the enemies, it's actually easier to run from them. But some of them, even if it's easy or not, you don't want to risk it. Especially this guy. In the factory here, you want your health to be 70 or higher. On the chance that this guy decides to be a jerk and drop a bomb, which does like 60 to 70 or whatever, it does a massive amount of damage. It's basically a PK Fire beta. If you had enough money to spare, you could have bought a water pendant, but obviously we don't got that in this run. So yeah, trying to run could work, but I almost never risk that personally in a real run. I just fight him for what it's worth. Same deal with the Fireball. The Fireball is not really intimidating. He only does PK Fire Alpha, which is like 20 damage, but he does it. He goes first every turn, first of all, and should you fail to run away, it adds up fast, and at some point you realize, oh hey, I can't run from this guy, and you let your health drop too low, like me sometimes, like an idiot, then you're gonna die to him. So I almost always fight the Fireball and the Bomber, just because. Now the old robot can be much more nasty than the other robot. Alright, yeah, that's cool. I mean, you could probably fight and kill this robot too. Honestly, he only has like 70 health, so you can take him out in like 3 hits. But he can use PK Beam, which is a a pretty unfair combination. So you want to keep your health over 30 at all times against the robots. But in general, keep it like above 60 here, or around 70 or so. And yeah, take the path I'm taking because it's the fastest path. It's the ideal path anyway. Dang it, I swear. I don't get what it is about running in this game. It's so weird. Sometimes I wait a little bit, even though like the RNG can be anything, like whenever it wants. Yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. I used to try running through here by opening the menu a lot because it can shuffle around and counter times, but you never know what that'll give you or how effective it could be. Like, I mean, in the end, you're gonna end up running into something anyway. But if you believe it'll help you, then go for it. I mean, I don't know. You'd have no way to predict it unless if you're like reading the game's code or something, which isn't okay. Or like if it was tasks or something, which, you know, would be noticeable. But yeah. Go up this way, go right a bit. I swear, I ran from the old robots before. There we go. So yeah, it's just a matter of chance. The scrappers, though, they seem to have a higher chance of being ran from. I don't know why. Fireball, nice. So yeah, he's gonna do quite a lot of damage to you over the course of the fight if you keep failing the run. So I'd either heal or just fight him. So he goes down in like 2 or 3 hits. But he's not. It doesn't take that long to kill him or anything. These guys, though, oh, especially when it's the old robot, these guys can be a deadly combination. I never fight these guys, first of all. I always try to run. But they can do a massive amount of damage together, and I definitely encourage, should you feel threatened, to use your 4P slip. Sometimes you'll even run away on the first turn, or one of the second turns, at least. But yeah, as you can see, that takes up a massive amount of your side points, which is why you want to keep using the bags to heal. But, yeah. Should you really, really need it, at least escape battles with more warps, use the stone, but I try not to use it as much as possible, because that's like very bad. But anyway, oh wait, I didn't realize I was already at the end. Oops. Just going through this so easily and talking. So you'll get into the room here, make Ninten drop a bread, and honestly, well, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. I did just heal almost to max, but you never know. I could have gotten stopped right before the door and died, but now at this point, you do want to die. So, this would probably be one of the slowest enemies to die to, but especially if you're checking him, which, I mean, checking does nothing, but I don't know. Spider-Man? Can't talk about it right now. I never had a plan for a Spider-Man game, but anyway. Just find something to kill you and then die. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize he does that much. He does that much damage when doing something physical. That's crazy. But anyway, so we're dead. We're gonna do the same thing that we did when we respawned at the department store, basically. We're gonna continue, we're gonna say yes. Gonna go up this way to the healer. Gonna refresh Ninten stats. And we're gonna revive Void. Oops, dang it. Mismenuing here. Alright. And now we're gonna use Ninten's bread first. And check the rocket. I mash A here until the menu comes up, and then I use Lloyd's bread. And that's exactly how that works. And yeah. Anyways, in front of the train station, use Nintendo's other bread. And now we're off to the desert, which is, if you've made it this far, congrats, because you're almost past the most scary parts of the run. Honestly, like, there's been a... At this point in the run, if you're going really fast, it would be around, like, the hour and 10 minutes mark. And from around 40 minutes into the run to about now, there's been, like, a whole slew of run killers just everywhere. And I swear this is, like, one of the last ones, because you gotta make it through the desert without dying. It's just a very hard task to do, because everything here is awful. Almost everything here, I swear. More often than not, I'm just always using the warp to escape. I mean, sometimes I'll try to run, but other times it just... I don't know. You just gotta pray. The best thing about having Lloyd alive is that he gets targeted, except, you know, he dies right away. So it's like, okay, thanks. But honestly, though, Lloyd is being a very good friend, just taking the hits for Ninten. Anyways, you'll run straight ahead. As soon as you reach, like, this first triangle in the sand, run straight and up. I mean, right and up. And then you'll see the cactus, and then approach it and check it. Oh wait, not check it, my bad. Use telepathy. Now run straight right. And at some point over here, as soon as you see this stuff, run down and right. Try not to get caught as much. And this whole area around the guy here is a safety zone. But you won't be in it for very long, but at least you'll have a bit of comfort for like a few seconds or so. And then you'll run down and right, and back into the danger zone. Oh cool, we got a scorpion, which, I forget how deadly they are. You can either... I don't know. I usually try to warp away from large groups of enemies, and I try to, or depending on what the enemy is, I just run from it. Especially Starman. Like I said earlier, you can, like, it's really hard to run from the flies, even though they have the same speed stat as a Starman. But every time you see a Starman by himself, just run, because more often than not, you'll escape him. No problem. But when there's all these saucers and stuff, like, that's when it's tricky. It's hard to tell. Especially, like, there's 3 of them, right? So you try to run. You try to run and you fail, you get hit a whole lot. I mean, well... If it's 3 saucers and they're not using any beams, they're not doing a lot, but they could use beams anyway, which is very deadly, you know? So yeah, I'm in danger. I'm dead, probably. Yeah, so... Try to make the right call. It's really hard to, like, not want to use it. Because now we only have 1 use left, and we are about halfway through the desert, but we're still nowhere near safety. So... Try to keep your health at, like, the max at all times here. Because of that, you never know what's gonna happen. Alright, that was just me making a save state, just to be safe. Basically, head along the tracks. Keep heading along the tracks. Don't leave this path even though the tracks change, just keep going. You'll see. Alright, a snake. Snakes, honestly... Wait. Okay, I thought it was a rattlesnake for a second. The snakes, you can always run from. Okay, well... That is very uncharacteristic. The snakes usually try to run from you. Alright. That is very ironic. The snakes... Oh my gosh, why do you do this? Why now? The snakes have the most weird, like, AI, I swear. The way the snakes are supposed to work is that they have a lot of, They have a lot of experience points, but they also have a lot of health. And if you try to fight it on purpose, they usually run from you. But I guess if you try to run from it, it feels intimidated. Or no, it doesn't feel intimidated, so it tries to attack you. So I can't tell if it's better to try to run from the snake or fight it. These guys, though, these guys are the worst. I always try to warp from them, because what they'll do is they'll try to put you to sleep. If you get put to sleep, then you are just victim to their attacks on, like, every turn. And they already do, like, that much damage, so they are scary. Now, if you've made it this far, and you're just now out of psi points, it is a very hard call on whether or not you should restore them right now. Because you are right near the end. If you keep going after the track's end, you'll get to this point, and you can slip through these trees, and then you can slip through the fence. Well, I mean, well, you're supposed to do that anyway, but now you're at safety. You made it this far. The rest of the run isn't exactly free, but it should be much less stressful, because you shouldn't lose it unless if you screw up or actually get pretty unlucky. But at this point, you should be able to skip pretty much every fight now. Gonna come in to heal the heal? Yep. You're gonna go down, you're gonna get teleport from this dude's baby. Because that's cool and all. Okay, I have exactly enough money. I thought I had 50, but I have 25. Yeah, I believe this is going well. I've had some blunders in it, but it's getting the job done, I'd say. But anyways, you approach the baby, you use telepathy, you get teleport. Very useful. Very important. And now we're gonna use the crumbs that were left in the at the train station. If Lloyd were lucky enough to stay alive, you would need $50, which there was a store in Easter where we just were. With the ATM, you could have just gotten money from it. But if he's dead, then you only need $25. So, go to Spookane or Halloween. At this point, well, I mean, I advise it before you even try doing a run of this category. Try to get good with teleports. You don't have to be like a master, but at least know how to use them efficiently enough to get around in the way I do. I have not practiced my teleports as much as I really could have for somebody who wants to be, like, you know, the best at this game, but, if you want to see some very masterful teleporting, you should watch the top run of the Japanese equivalent of this category, No Breadcrumb Glitch, because the runner there, he has very flawless teleporting. It looks so good. Like, he must have practiced it for thousands of hours, and I probably only practiced this for, like, I don't know, maybe 10 hours in total or something like that, but okay. So, we're gonna exit here, and honestly, I can't tell if it's faster to go down or to the right. I've always done it this way. You need the time, though, it's very important. It takes about 3 seconds in, like, real time for you to take off, so you need to crash into something to cancel it before then. And then you need to redirect yourself after you crash, because you're still facing whatever direction you were when you crashed. And the scary thing about that is that every time you need to redirect yourself for a new teleport, there's a slim chance if you're in an encounter zone that one step you take for doing that will get you a fight, which is very unlucky. But hopefully it won't happen. So, but yeah, then you just teleport down like this, and you're safe. The other way, I've only seen this in, like, a task once. They go down, and then to the right, which I guess is valid, but I'm not very used to it. I think this could possibly be faster, but I don't really know. I also don't know where the encounter zone ends over here, because it extends into the town area, I think. Yeah, like that. So, I can't say. I just go this way because I'm used to it. So, whichever one you prefer, go for fine, I guess. You don't crash there like that, though. That's me and not having practiced these teleports in a good while. I used to be a little better at these, but at the same time, it's a little easy to mess up, especially in an area like this. But yeah, as long as, like, you can do it just so it's good enough. And teleporting is faster than running. So I'm kind of mixed on whether or not I should teleport, because teleporting uses up like 3 side points every time, and if you accidentally get into a fight, you want to warp away. So I question using teleporting for movement in an area where I don't need to, like right now. Like right now, I'm not in a danger zone, but on the Famicom version, you can't run, so you would like teleport from here to the encounter zone, and so you'd end up using a little more like that. But yeah, you could try doing that if you felt like it. You might mess up if you're inexperienced and then accidentally teleport, but otherwise, just run up here and teleport at this point. Crash around here or so, then teleport again, and either crash directly above into those trees, or you can curve right and crash into, I'll try to show it. I'm gonna try to do better about my save states here. Okay. So, like, crash around here. Also, yeah, it's a little tricky. If you get really unlucky with that, like if you crash where I just did, and you'd have to walk up more to redirect yourself, and you'd be at more of a risk for, encounters. So, teleporting can be a little punishing until you get really good at it. But, anyway. So, I'm going to, try to show a more better teleport. Oh my gosh, please. So either there, or just going a little further, and to there, and then, honestly, doing the second one's probably better. Going up to the door, selecting the key, and in here we're going to exclusively teleport, because we don't want any of these fights whatsoever. And the teleports aren't too hard, but one of them gets really tricky, and I'll show you. Oh my gosh. If I could just move right, please. You just hold up and left very slightly. Oh my gosh, I did it twice on accident. Because you can buffer after you hit A here, so you can hit A and hold up and left. Oh my gosh, I did it twice again, but anyway. You get the point, you'll probably get good at it. Alright, so it's up twice, and then in this room is where it's tricky. You can teleport straight from this door, and you need to stop about halfway down the stairs. If you misspace your teleport, you will either end up teleporting on the first or second one, and you'll see that it gets tricky. So, like, you need to try to count it and time it exactly. So that was probably good. And then you can teleport again, and you'll hit the bottom step. Yeah. If you mess up, though, like this, if you can't tell where to stop it at, you'll either stop it too soon, and then end up teleporting by the second one like this. I'm pretty sure this is spacing for that. Yeah, you'll do that. Or you might do this instead, where you don't stop the first one soon enough. And you'll do that. And that is very bad, because it just wastes a lot of your psi. And should you do that on accident, then just go straight into your home and talk to your mom and like restore your psi points, and then warp back on the list to Spokane or Halloween. Now, an easy way, but somewhat, I mean, I guess both have their own risk. Walk ahead, open the menu every time to reduce your chances of getting an encounter, and then teleport from this point. And then it's a lot easier to stop, because then you can clearly time it and stop it early, and it won't matter because you'll be able to hit the door every time. It's much less risky that way, but you might risk getting into a fight sooner then. But anyway, now we're gonna go into the bottom doors. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is, something. Be careful to not use too much psi here, because like right now, if I got into a fight, I couldn't warp away, so I have to be very, very careful. Alright, and then check the piano. Okay. Now, we're basically about at, I mean, I would have said that getting teleport would have been the halfway point in the game, but if you don't consider that it, then right now is the halfway point. I'm gonna use Onyx Hook. Going to, we're gonna heal these two. want to teleport to Easter or Youngtown. Alright. Now, we have 7 breads. If you're not feeling confident in the amount that you have, you can go up here and you can buy more breads. For like 30, of course. But yeah. This is an area where I do actually use the teleport most of the time. I get over here. Now this is where most of your teleport practice is going to be very important, because you need to traverse the entirety of the swamp. Pretty much the entire rest of the game up until getting Eve. So from the swamp to Valentine's, throughout the caves, and through most of Mount Atoy, you're gonna need to be teleporting until you get Eve. So it's a lot. So find where you want to teleport at, I guess, or like try to copy me or what the top Japanese runner does in the Famicom version. And I personally, just because there's a little glitch here where the music plays, it carries over from area to area if you teleport through it like this. Like you see, I crossed the line and it's being friends. And right now it's Easter. I personally do this from here just because I'm just a nerd. So I want to hear I want to hear the song more, so I do this. I go up, crash. It keeps playing. I try to take this path. We'll see how well it goes. Oh my gosh, I almost teleported. You can stop sooner on that part to be safe. But yeah. I usually feel confident in my teleports at the very start. It's the remaining areas that get awful. Anyway, so this is a very nice strat that we're gonna use, but it's very important that we don't get any encounters, because it'll ruin everything. So we're gonna give like half the breads here to Ninten. And we're gonna bread chain back and forth here to avoid using the Sightstone. Because for one, well, like, I don't know, it's gonna definitely last longer than the stone wood itself. So we're gonna use a bread with Ninten. We're gonna talk to Pippi and refresh our our sight points. Gonna get around here or so, like before we enter this little like tube-looking area, I guess. That's where encounters will start. I used to be better at applying this. I guess this works, probably. Gonna start a teleport. Oh, dang it. That was not very good. Oh my gosh. I'm doing a very good job right now. Man, yeah, basically what I just said to do. Come on. Okay, I think I lined it up right now. Alright, so gonna hold right and then down, crash around here. This is the hardest turn to make in the swamp, I swear. Hold on, I'm actually going to try to pull this up on the feed here and show you where you want to do this. So if it's showing, my mouse should be on the screen, right? Or no? Hold on, wait, is my mouse not showing? Oh, I don't have it turned on for this. I'm an idiot. Hold on. I'm gonna turn on mouse capture so you can see. Alright. There we go. So we're gonna teleport to the left here, and at like these tufts of grass, we're gonna hold down. And it's pretty hard to time. We're gonna hold down, and then we're gonna like hold down and right. So let me try to do that. Oh wait, first I'm gonna make a state, just in case. So I can try the short right. I almost never get this. I get it like a few times now and then. So down, down right. Damn, like it is very hard to align. And you can imagine how narrow this area is to keep starting teleports in here. It gets really annoying. I'm not gonna do this for too long though if I can't get it, but I really want to show it at least once. Oh my gosh, if I could get it, please. Like that. That is very good. That's the best base you can get, pretty much. Crash like that here. It can get tricky sometimes around this area because I tend to accidentally teleport now and then, which is really bad. Crash on this bridge or around it. This area kind of sucks. Crash like there. Crash, dang it, by this bridge, and yeah, you can see obviously moving around is dangerous. Alright, I got lucky. I would pray if you got in the counter, you get lucky too. You probably could have warped. If you had the warp early, then just keep teleporting until you get low. I mean, assuming nobody died. If you were able to warp away and survive, just keep teleporting until you don't have enough side to do that anymore, and then you'll see what we're gonna do for that. So anyway, I'm gonna get up here, start teleporting over here. Gonna crash there. Okay, it probably wasn't low enough. Okay. I still get confused on these trees over here because I'm totally a good runner of this game because I totally practice everything. Gonna head up. Yeah, that's why this area is confusing because it's like I forget which trees to crash on. I think that's probably the best one to do, honestly. If you can manage it, somewhere over here. Just don't teleport. Make sure you practice your teleports. Don't be like me. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the left. Go to the left. It's because of how awkward the trees are spaced around here. It is hard to go around them. It's hard to go around them when I don't want to. Okay, you need to crash around here. It's hard to go around them when I don't want to, and then it's like really easy to miss them at the same time. Like, I don't know, it's just a little dumb and ironic. But now we're gonna go left, crash into the waters, go straight up, crash here, go up and around. Don't get stuck down in there though. Alright. Go up to the bridge, crash on it or about on it. This one can be a little tricky. You can go a little further than usual and not get caught here because we're gonna go through a really narrow path. And I'm trying to slip behind that tree in the water. I've done it before, but it's been forever. Oh my gosh, I almost had it. It looks really cool when you get it, I swear. Well, regardless, just try to get behind it. Keep going. Crash over here, and now I'm out of side points. Gonna drop red with Floyd. Gonna chain back and forth. Gonna heal. Drop another bread. No, I don't want to talk to you again. Whatever, no harm done. Use Lloyd's. Now we're back. Keep going. Oh my gosh, that was scary. It's always scary when you're trying to crash on a very precise area and you end up running right past it. Because usually by the point you're trying to crash precisely, that's the limit. And if you go right past it, then you're off teleporting. It gets really frantic. But anyways, go down, crash around here, go down more. I crash at the bottom of this water corner, like whatever, the corner of the water here. go down, crash on the top of this, or like on the one over here, I guess. Whichever you can manage, either are fine. As long as you don't teleport. Now go down and right. Sometimes you'll get stuck in this little like part over here, but still in the right area. Go down, go right. You can just hold right. And that is like basically the first half of the hard teleports. Especially if you got through the swamp and then over to here, you're doing really good. Now, I know I just left crumbs there for Pippi. That was just in case like the worst happened, but if you make it here, you can like discard those crumbs, or you can keep the crumbs for now and return to Pippi, I guess. Or actually, no. It would be better to make new crumbs here, so you can just discard these. Even though I don't know how much bread I'm working with, but like 4 left. Hopefully, you might have wanted more when you're new, but hopefully the better you get at this, the less you'll need, being more experienced. Anyway, gonna start filling the inventory with these medicines or life ups. You need 6 of them to finish the game, so don't use them. But if you come back here and you can carry extras, definitely grab those because they will hop out regardless. Oh wait, I have... Yeah, I already made sure of that. Okay, makes sense. Alright. No. Alright, that was a little scary. Sometimes I crash before that. Like, right here. Actually, usually, I think I always crash, like, somewhere around there. Damn. Just be careful with your teleporting. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this... That's why I usually, like, I only walk when I'm about to teleport most of the time, and then I always open the menu like crazy with every step I take. Be safe. Alright, that was probably not smart to crash into the corner. I could have crashed a little closer up to the wall here. Go up. Crashing there is good. It is a little easy if you're not going straight to miss that, and if you miss that, you might not crash in a good spot, or you might just teleport, so be really careful. Go up and to the right, and crash into that. And now here and here, and this area has very, very narrow paths. Some of the hardest areas to teleport at, period. So, gonna take some good practice. Now, I could have kept going. I usually crash here anyway, but I can't remember if you continue to the end, if that you can do that in one teleport or not. You probably can. If I were good. Or can you do that? But you can curve up and right. Maybe not. I think it's too narrow. There's too many tight turns right here to actually do that realistically. But in some of the paths, you can just keep going. But yeah. This path, though, this one is definitely one you can work on a lot, because it gets really cool the better you get at it. Oh gosh, it's really tricky. So you go down... Oh gosh. I really want to be able to show it off, but I'm probably not going to get it, because I haven't done it in forever. Damn. You can, like, go through this in one whole teleport all the way through, and it's just really good movement when you get that good. Oh my gosh. As you can imagine, though, it is pretty tricky, so don't feel too discouraged if you can't get it yet. Just be really careful, though, if you do have to rewind yourself for not getting teleports. It's getting around this corner that's the hardest part. Also, I am not doing a good job of aligning myself. That's way more risky if you have to keep doing that. So yeah, just try to be safe. When I face a direction like this and I'm starting to go in another direction, all I'm doing as I'm holding down right away Because, like, whatever direction you're facing is where you start to teleport. I'm pretty sure you might have noticed by now, and I probably haven't pointed it out, but, like, when I want to go through these paths diagonally, I'm already, like, aligning myself diagonally to do that. But right here, I want to go down. I'm facing right, and I just hold down the whole way, and it buffers, and it does that. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this is the worst path in the room, or in the whole caves, period. It twists and turns back and forth very rapidly, so you are going to end up crashing here a whole lot when you don't want to. Not that one. Oh my gosh, if I could please. Whatever. Just gonna align myself here instead of going down, I guess. When you do crash, you always have to, like, straighten out the path again, even though, like, it's really ridiculous. So you'll see if you practice and get used to it. I've definitely gotten better at this than usual, but, like, it's dumb. Anyways, right here is a little funny. This one spot right here, the paths cross over, and you can go straight through it like that. So we're gonna teleport through it like that. Oh my gosh, if I could do it, I have done it before. It's usually not a hassle. Whatever, these paths are dumb. You'll see when you try it. This path is much less awful, but I still crash into it. I should totally practice, but yeah. I'm doing so good. And also, you definitely don't want to get into an encounter here, because these are some of the worst encounters to get. Anytime you see me actually running around, like, willingly, that is just me being very unsafe. Alright, if you made it this far, congrats, because now you have a new Psi Stone, which you will actually need room for. Oh, I didn't leave bread behind. I'm very smart. I should have done that. Alright, I don't even know what to do about that. I was supposed to chain bread back and forth at the dude's, like, you know, the guy who gave me the medicine. Alright, that is a big flaw in this tutorial. Alright, instead I will just drop this, since I'm just gonna do this anyway. I'm gonna grab this stone. What you want to do smartly, though, is always chain back when you need it, and now that you have this extra stone, which I guess is good that I got it now, definitely start using these more often if you need to. Look at that. That's my very first use this whole time, and it just broke. It is really ridiculous at times. Let's see, is it gonna break again? No. See, it's just, it does what it wants, and that's why they can be so like, dangerous, or like ruin things. And that's why we use the bread chains to not try to rely on the stones, because they're just like awful at times. But yeah. The only thing that sucks about this is that I don't have more life up dreams, which would have been nice for grinding up here on the mountain with Gyiyg. But yeah. So remember to use your bread at the dude's place. Now, once you're up here, you're pretty much in the home stretch for these teleports. Oh my gosh, they get a little tricky here. That's a good one. Alright, also good. This one is probably one of the trickiest. I almost got it. It's like, there's a certain amount of steps you'll take before you start holding up. And like, you go straight up the path, and you won't teleport the whole way, I promise. I want to show it just so you know. Oh my gosh, if I could get it, please. Oh my gosh, it's gonna get me, I swear. There we go. And you'll be totally fine the whole way. That is the best teleport you can get right there. Now these ones I have been inconsistent with before, and I've actually killed my run by accidentally teleporting here. Now, you can either stop right here, or from where I just was, you could have stopped like right here instead on the edge. But if you stop right here, I'm pretty sure you can teleport straight to the end in one go. Yeah. So once you've made it here, you're in the clear, and you can even save right here if you want to. So if you happen to like die or something goes wrong, you can reset, and you'll lose time, of course, but you won't lose as much time for having to go back through everything here. If you still have bread left, or if you had any room for it, you would only need like one bread. You can get rid of the other two, I guess. Actually, I'll get rid of it from Nintendo's bag. What's in your menu is a little important here, or in inventory. I'll give one. Oh wait, I can't. I just remembered. I don't know why I'm doing this. If you had extra life up creams, you would want Nintendo to hold like 2 of them, but I remembered I have exactly as many as I need, so I can't use them anymore. And that's what I was thinking I was doing, but I forgot. I screwed up my plans. Anyways, if you had extra life up creams, make sure Nintendo's holding at least 2, because you'll probably have like 10, and you want Lloyd to be holding 6 of them. But anyway, now you're here, talk to this dude. He'll heal you, save if needed. These teleports are like, I don't know, that one's that. This one, going around this corner is a little tricky, but if you crash, it's okay. Yeah, even if you crash like that, it's okay, it doesn't matter. That's still better than like getting stuck. Or doing that. I can't remember, I'm pretty sure you can go straight to the boat from this one teleport. No, you can't. Okay, never mind. Don't take my word for that. Don't do that. Crash somewhere before that. You'll, like, fail. Okay, now that you're at the boat, walk up to it, and you're pretty much in the clear for the rest of the run. At least I say that. There's still things that can go wrong. Oh, by the way, there's another case where we'll be holding B. So make sure you do that. When you're in the boat, you can make it move faster by doing so, and you also make the cutscene go faster, so... I think it's funny that it does that, like speed up, or whatever. And then this speeds up too. If you don't hold B before that scene starts, then you can't speed it up from that point on, I believe. Like, you only get one chance to do that. So just make sure you're holding B by default. And the same with this elevator, it speeds up when you hold B. But I think you can, like, release and redo this one if you mess up. But, yeah. Anyway, like I said, the rest of the run you should be good for. Should you do things right, but this is still a very, very heavy, like, part on RNG. Where it's like, you're gonna lose a lot of time regardless, even if you, like, don't die or mess up something. Because, like, this is the longest grinding section with Eve. It's like, I would say it's the easiest technically, or I don't know. But, anyways, you check Eve, blah blah blah, she does this. Yells at you in all caps. After she's done talking, you can hold B to speed this whole thing. The glass breaking, this whole scene of the water doing that. And now you're on land. Now, here's where the RNG already starts to be a problem. Your first few encounters are important because what's ideal is, like I said before, you don't want Lloyd to level up at all in this run. But there's a very low chance... Oh, especially if this happens. If you just get one enemy off the bat, Lloyd is leveling up. No, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's very lame. It loses a lot of time. Let's see. I want to... Dang it, I really want to try to, like... manipulate it, quote unquote, to my best abilities to get a better fight. I don't think I can avoid this right now, though. That is very awful. Okay, I'm trying really hard to avoid this. Let's see. Probably can. Oh my god, it won't stop giving me a single move. What is this? Oh, alright. I guess RNG doesn't want to avoid that. I don't know. I didn't know it would do this. Okay, I just want to show the best case scenario because you're more than likely to encounter the worst case scenario. What is this? It's probably a single enemy. No, it's two. Okay. If you encountered, by the way, if you did encounter like 3 mooks or 2 mooks, hold on, it'd probably be better to show on that because this is a very dangerous enemy. With Ninten, you would want to guard. With Void, you want to auto. And you're gonna hope that whatever enemy that Eve doesn't kill, they'll kill Lloyd. You're gonna want to pray for that. Okay, you got Rogi. Lloyd died, so good. Now you can just guard, and yeah. If you encountered 2 mooks and you have the Psy for it, you'll want Ninten to use the warp from battle, and you'll want Eve to, you want Lloyd to auto. So that way, Eve will go first, then the mooks, and then if the 1 mook remaining doesn't kill Lloyd, then you can escape before Eve kills it on the next turn to avoid leveling him up. Because the mooks, honestly, they're very terrible for killing Lloyd. Most of the time, they will not do anything offensive whatsoever. But if they do, then they will probably kill him. It's just really hard for them to do that. But anyway, the sooner Lloyd dies, the more time you'll save overall. Like, I think like the past couple of runs I've ever finished, Lloyd stayed alive for way more than necessary. Like, he reaches like level 5, which is awful, because it ruins something later on. Oh, and keep your health up. Like, don't die. I'm not being smart about that. But, yeah. Okay. And now we're gonna go as fast as we can to the to this pendant that will defend us from all it'll defend us from every elemental type of psi or attack. It will defend us from fire, ice, and thunder. It won't defend you against beams, but I'll let you in on a secret. You can defend against beams by just guarding. Like I said, guarding cuts every attack in half anyway. But on top of that, you can, you'll see later, you can use Psi Shield. Psi Shield, oh gosh, these guys are a painful combination, but yeah, you'll see. Yeah, that's awful. The worst thing is if Eve hits that robot first, because then you take damage. And then the female robot can actually hurt you. It could potentially kill you for that. It's always better when Eve kills that one first instead. But anyway. So Psi Shield basically does what guarding does for you, except it's active all the time. So Psi Shield will reduce every attack in half. But if you use Psi Shield and then you also guard, it reduces twice as much. It doesn't necessarily reduce all of it, but it's like basically the attack becomes 1/4 of its power, which is a very significant difference. So it's super useful. Oh, that's really lucky too. That is something I wanted to talk about. If you get a super bomb, so I've gotten some good luck on this even without trying to use save states for getting good luck. In fact, you'll see that later, but anyway, yeah, the Super Bomb actually makes things a little better. It'll save time later on if you get it by chance, but it is a pretty rare drop. I forget exactly, I think, hold on. Oh wait, my inventory is full now from that. That's kind of ironic. I'll drop the bread with Minton, and I'll pick this up. No, I'll equip it. Anyway, what was I saying? Gosh, I'm all over the place in my mind. I think I was talking about the super bomb. So, oh yeah, no, the drop percentages. I think it's okay. I think I might have given the wrong stat earlier for the side stone breaking. I think the side stone breaks at a 1 in 8th chance, and the item drops are all like 1 in 16th or something. But I've never seen any like stats anywhere specifically stated from like any official source. I just seen that from like what some fans have said years ago when they were trying to find out stats themselves from the game. So I can't 100% verify it, but basically it's a very low chance that you get the super bomb drop anyway. But it's always nice. So yeah, anyway, the rest of the mountain trip is going to be spent grinding till level 24. The ideal group of enemies that you want to get is exactly these guys. These guys will give you literally 1,000 experience points. They're really good for that. It's just, they're also extremely deadly, and they can kill you even with Eve here, especially if they all target Ninten at once. So, yeah, like that. Like, okay, he's already targeted. What is this? Okay, that's Eve. So yeah, that they can be really devastating. Not being very nice to you. Yeah. So if that happens, I do apologize, because like the best you could do, if you feel like you're being threatened, if you had a life whipped cream available, you could use it in between turns, even though it was very risky. Because there's always a high chance that you heal yourself, and then you get attacked immediately, and because you aren't guarding, you take way more damage than you would have. So things can go really bad either way. But, am I screwed? Okay, no. I thought it was just gonna keep repeating the same sequence. I'm just gonna hope I don't die. Okay. Now, sometimes I pick auto when there's exactly one enemy left, but there is a very rare chance that Eve could miss hitting the enemy. Like, it's not common at all, but in that case, I would pick guard, and it takes about the same amount of time to pick guard over auto anyway. Okay. Your dad will call you around the 2-hour mark. You just tell him now. Continue. Anyway, keep healing yourself. Keep your health up for the Starmen if you get them. If your big bag runs out, then just start using your Sai again. Just remember that, so like before I told you, you press down and right to get the life up. Well, that's what I've been doing for teleport now that it's over here, so you just press down twice for life up. And you're good. Alright. Honestly, I don't really get that many Starman groups that often in my offshore runs, so that just makes this all, like, better. Scary stuff going on here. Scary, but worth it. Very worth it. I probably should have healed first, but whatever. What is... okay. I guess it's always better to have more health and less. Keep you safe. Wow, I got another group of star... Okay, like, if I actually was getting this in my runs, I would be losing it. Like, as scary as it gets, like that would probably be, like, some of the best RNG I've gotten, and I would save so much time. Especially if Lloyd died, like, as soon as possible. Because it takes them, like, 10 minutes to die, which already loses a lot of time, and then I get really bad encounters. Because, the second largest amount of experience you can get from any group of enemies is the energy robot and the female robot. Even though they can be a little scary until you get the pendant. And then after them, what gives the most experience are the mooks at the lake. If you get 3 of them, they give a lot. And those are the 3 highest experience giving groups of enemies. But obviously you want to be up here for the Starman and not down there. But yeah, so basically you just repeat this process until you'll get to level 24, and then you need to pay attention, well, when we get there I'll talk about it, but you would need to pay attention to how much experience you have before you're ready to fight the robot. Because you're going to enter the robot fight with exactly enough experience left to level up off the fight, so that way you don't have to, like, continue on. Now, where you are up here doesn't really matter, but I just like staying in this area because it's pretty open. When I get to like 24, though, I go up a little higher to where the robot would be. Alright. Less Starman means less experience, of course, but it also means you'll probably be a little more safe overall. Oops, whatever, it doesn't matter. It would be really awful to accidentally select fight on a group of enemies, but on one enemy, don't worry. Oh, that's also nice. Sometimes that robot can drop Side Stone. And I guess if you really needed it, go ahead and use them. You only need to hold on to one Side Stone for, like, near the end of the game. Okay, good. Eve did the right enemy order this time, so you're much safer. Nice. Okay, whenever they do that, that's always a good blessing right there. Really good walk. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact that you have the Franklin badge at all, like I mean, obviously that would be a much worse game design. Oh, cool. They can drop stones too, by the way. Not like you need this many, but yeah. If that attack existed, but the Franklin badge were not a thing, this would be so much more unforgiving. A good thing it does exist, so you know we're all safe. Alright, and we are almost ready for the robot. Now, once you're level 24, you're gonna want your experience to be at a very specific number, of course. Like I said, because you wanna enter the fight as soon as it means you'll get enough experience from that fight for level 25. Because we don't need you don't need E for any longer than reaching 25, so you might as well level up off the final fight with her. And you need 13,083 points for that exactly. So anyway, the robot fight gets triggered when you go a little past this to the left. So I stay like around here and over when I'm like at this much. So just kind of like waiting up here. Because the super robot or whatever it is, I always forget the number codes on it. It gives 500 points, which I think is funny. It's supposed to be, I mean, I guess it's not that intimidating of a boss since you can't die to it, but it only gives that much. Everything in this game gives us such an odd amount of experience. Like, they kept everything really low in this game, but whatever, I'm not gonna blame them or anything. Yeah, basically after one more fight, we should be good to go into it. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be good for it. Alright, I pretty much almost leveled up right there from that, but yeah, like, while I'm in this fight, I'm gonna level, I mean not level, I'm gonna heal Minton. Since this fight is very RNG, because it's all about Eve getting hit, and it is very annoying because I actually had a fight, I think I lost like 5 minutes because Eve dodged like 10 times or more or something dumb like that, I don't even remember, it was really ridiculous, but Eve needs to get hit like 3 times or so. There we go. Alright. And we're pretty much ready for the end of the game. Just gotta go through one last part. Walk back carefully and check Eve's body. Okay, and now, gonna need some teleports. This one's easy, just do that. Alright, I meant to do the thing. Hold on, I want to show that clearly. Oh my gosh, please. I said it was easy, and then now I can't do it. Whatever, you get my point. Just teleport as best as you can. I was trying to go up the rope like I did before. See, you can't go up the rope if you're like too close to the wall, so you have to turn up sooner. Whatever. If you don't crash right there, then you can like try to maneuver around the stump at the top. Like that. Except it gets really hard to turn. Anyway, go up the next one. Okay, now I'm really hoping, because I'm playing this on my EverDrive, and like a few months back, I did a randomizer, and I don't know if the ROM I used for it or whatever, it just detected and it gave me a copyright notice when I checked the stone here, so I'm hoping that the game doesn't just do that right now. Okay, no, it's working. Alright, in that case, when you check it, you can hold B, I believe, and that will happen quicker. Very good. I'm glad I didn't do that, because if it did that, that would have been so annoying. I would have had to switch to my repro copy. But yeah, now we got that. And it's like 2 things left to do. Teleporting up here is a little weird, but we're gonna teleport to Thanksgiving or Marysville. I guess it's not that hard once you get the experience for it. But anyway, we're gonna go up here. Now, if you didn't get the super bomb drop from the robot, you would need $2,400. But I'm gonna withdraw that much anyway because I'm gonna show you. Or at least I think that's the right amount. I might be wrong. Like I feel dumb for not remembering exactly how much money I've needed. But honestly though, no. Just because of that, it's like, you know, it's slower to go over here to do this, so just withdraw 3,000 rather. I don't have any space for this, so I'm going to drop one of these. I mean, you literally don't need half of the stuff in your inventory right now at this moment anyway. Like, after you leave the mountain, you can like drop the Franklin badge and all that stuff, but I was gonna get to that next. But anyway, we're gonna go up here. Gonna buy rope for 600. If you didn't get a super bomb drop, you would have to buy it at the school, which is over here. I mean, obviously we know where it is, but you'd have to buy it in the room where Lloyd blew up everything for like 1,800 or so. Super bomb, yeah, okay. But anyway, if you get the drop, then that's lucky because as soon as you buy the rope, you can just use the Onyx hook to warp out. Next up, revive Lloyd. Now, if Lloyd leveled up a lot, then he would have too much health right now. But if you let him die at like level 1, then like under 30 is just right. Right here, wait, who has? Okay, he has the crumbs. All right, this is not. It's okay, I can drop a stone for it. I have too many stones anyway, I shouldn't have this many. What would be good is for Ninten to have the bread. Ninten needs to drop crumbs here. Lloyd needs to have the super bomb. Make sure he has that. Anyway, can teleport out here. Oh my gosh, never mind. Don't be an idiot like that. Go up here and then teleport. I've actually, I don't think I've ever done it from not right here. Okay, there we go. Because actually, I didn't mention this, but if you ever place crumbs anywhere important, like in the swamp, and you accidentally teleport, wherever you teleport to will overwrite the location that the crumbs are at, and that's very bad, because obviously you want it to be where you needed it to be. So all crumbs that you dropped are now obsolete, and you need to drop new crumbs. But anyway, getting this enemy is good actually, because what we need Lloyd to take at least damage once. Honestly, I didn't even need Lloyd the guard. Realistically, I could have like just had him not guard or whatever. Because what needs to happen is... Okay, good. Anyway. We need Lloyd to die in this fight with the dragon, so that once again, he doesn't level up. But Lloyd is also the one who we need alive to fight the dragon anyway. I know, it sounds funny. We'll see. Because basically, we're gonna cheese the dragon with the super bomb. It's one of the few ways you can just easily obsolete his power overall. I mean, either way would be to have Anna and have her use PK Freeze Gamma, but we don't have that. So anyway, we're gonna check the dragon. Gonna hope this goes well, by the way. If he attacks before the first turn, or before you get to on the first turn, then basically Lloyd might die right away anyway. Use the rope. Oh my gosh. Use the rope. Select the super bomb. Alright, good. Even if he escapes right now, it doesn't matter because he's dead. And yeah, then Lloyd dies, but it says Ninten died, but whatever. Then we check the dragon again. Now we use those crumbs. And we're gonna teleport to the castle. Oh my gosh. We're gonna go into the first room, and you can just teleport straight to Mary. As funny as it looks. Alright, and then you're gonna talk to her. And you're just gonna mash A and B. Oh yeah, I think it would have, when she revived Lloyd right there, I think it would have played the jingle, but pressing B skips over it. After she gets done with talking to you, you're gonna hold B and it's gonna speed up her disappearing and all that. You'll see. It's the last situation in the game where you can hold B to speed up NPCs and all that. So, like, right after here, right after she starts talking about Gyiyg. Yeah, hold B now. And, yep, keep holding B, keep holding it. Alright. I would have recommended saving in Magicant before you go to Mary. So honestly, probably before the dragon fight. Before you place the crumbs, or after, it doesn't really matter. Anyways, now you're here, teleport, because you're not protected anymore. Alright, and now you're safe. You can't get any fights at all through here. But make sure you manage your inventory right before going in. This is usually where I do it anyway. So, go here, drop the Franklin badge, wait, is my... Okay, as I say, is my psi really at like 97? Not that I need a lot of psi for this fight anyway. Drop this. Drop this. Hit all of these into Nintendo's inventory. If you had an extra one, that might make you feel more comfortable, but you only really need 6. Especially if your health, if you got the stat for your health, you're good. If you're around like at 150. If you're lower, it's a little more intimidating, but it's not that bad. Yep. Now you don't have to, but sometimes like I feel like I might miss menu. I mean, it's not like you can use the cash card or the Onyx hook in battle against Gyiyg, but just to avoid pressing it, sometimes I get rid of one of them and I give it to Lloyd's too. At least that one, so that way in the battle inventory I can like press down and right and I'll always select the next life up cream. But like whatever you prefer. Is now we're going to the fight. In the home stretch. It is possible to lose your run here if you mess something up, but if you came into it like this, you should be fully prepared, and it should be able to go well. The first thing you'll do is go right once in this side tab, or you're in the side menus, or whatever, and you'll go to side shield, and select yourself, and then with Lloyd, just pick auto. If you go first, that's really good, because usually Gyiyg can outspeed you, but if you go first, then you're protected from the start. Because as you can see, Lloyd just took 78 damage, but I only took 35, and that's because of side shield cutting it in half. And now I'm gonna guard. I keep guarding until he stops talking, and he does like... I never pay attention to how many lines of dialogue he has. He has 1, 2... It'd be good for me to actually pay attention to that. Because I've done this fight so many times, I just kind of stop. You have to wait for him to stop talking fully before you can go, so just keep guarding. So like 1, 2, 3. Four. I usually know when he's done talking on like this version though, because I know what his last line of text is. But on the Japanese version, I don't pay attention to it, and I haven't counted it. So that's 5. That wasn't his last line already, was it? I'm pretty sure it gets way lower. Yeah, 6. Now we can guard one more time. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I didn't do this fight right. Hold up. That's funny. Pretty ironic. I haven't been paying attention at all. Alright, I might die for this. I'm a big idiot. What you were supposed to do is use speed up twice, or quick up, after you did your scythe. I totally forgot that. I don't know how I forgot that. I'm probably screwed. If I don't go first, I'm screwed. So, hold on. Okay, I'm first, somehow. And I think that was the 7th dialogue or whatever. So yeah, definitely make sure after you side shield, use quick up twice. But I seem to be going fast enough for it to not matter, and this is totally wasting time, but... yeah, anyway, yeah, after his last turn though, now you can start singing, and you need to use this 11 times, so the pattern usually goes sing twice, heal, sing twice, heal, sing twice, heal. I'm gonna not speed up since I already committed to that, but make sure you do, or else you might lose one of these turns. Because your health might get ridiculously low when you need to, when you need the heal, and if it's low and you don't go first, you're dead. So that's basically it. So 1, 2. Yeah, that's actually a bad sign because he went first. So yeah. I I wish I was smarter about that. I could still probably. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure this is winnable. It's just it's slower regardless if you have to use quick up now than before because you're wasting turns not singing to him when you could have been. Anyway, that's really dumb. I apologize for screwing things up like that. But yeah, that's one way to lose the run though if you get this far. Unless if you like save, then you can like just reload it. But yeah, so one. Let's see, I have. This should probably work out. I would pray. What I have 4. Sometimes you get luckier amounts of damage dealt to you, so you can probably... I mean, if you're going to be risky, you can get an extra sing, and it will make up if you mess up something. Like, depending on what I get here. Although it might be unlikely. Yeah, definitely unlikely. Anytime your health is this low, you should definitely just heal it. Alright, near the end. That was like the 9th one. I only recognize that because of the exclamation marks. And like, he should do the same thing again. No, wait, is that the 8th or 9th? I can't remember. It was like the 8th one. And then he does the same thing again for like the 10th. And time would end in this category upon the 11th sing starting. so this should be the knife. Should be the 10th. Because he'll give more exclamation marks, and that's like the very last thing he does. Alright, and even if your health gets this low, I don't know, I guess you're gonna have to deal with it. Now would be the time to do it anyway. So, yeah, time would end like right there, as soon as you, as soon as this thing comes out. So, now, it is assuming this is the last one. It should be. If I'm not, I'm really dumb. I feel like I do that all the time in my runs anyway, though. I'll get to the last thing, and I'm like, this should be it. And very few times I've been wrong. But if I am wrong, I'm dumb. So yeah, I will accept that. Yeah, okay. So that's it. That's NES version, which was basically very sloppy presentation, I do apologize. But it should get the job done, you know? Hopefully this will be enough for people to go by. My very first run took me 5 hours, because I had no planning for it whatsoever. Because, I don't know, I had to study and learn myself. I had to learn off of the Japanese version, because the US version was not rooted very well at the time. But yeah, your reward for completing the run is getting a nice ending with great music. And this only took like 3 hours to do, so that's not very bad. Yeah. I think right after this, I'm going to start the recording for the Japanese version, and then I'll get off for now, and I'll do all the glitched ones in the afternoon tomorrow, after I study up on them again. But yeah, I think I will, I'll just cut off the, recording now, because there's no reason to go through the rest of the credits, honestly.